Are you ready?
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, Tool to Play presents Still Got Game with Derek D. Smooth Nolan and Joel Dude I Rock Albert.
This episode of Still Got Game is brought to you by ThinkGeek and Craft Beer Club. Hey now! Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Still Got Game, episode 319. Still Got Game is the official podcast of ToolToPlay.com. I am, as always, Derek D. Smooth Nolan.
And I am Joel Dude I Rock Albert.
And coming to us later from the news desk will be Tiffany Electrify Nolan, making her triumphant return.
That's right.
So what's going on, Joel Dude I Rock Albert?
Not much. I've been away for the past week. I was out in Florida planning for some of our wedding stuff, and now I'm back.
Nice. I was looking at your photos. There were some nice photos.
Yeah, we got some good shots. It was great weather the whole time, which normally, if anyone's familiar, is usually rainy season. It's terrible, but we had no rain. So it was great. We sat on the beach, did some wedding planning stuff, and ate dinner every night out. It was really good.
Nice. Do you have any secret wedding tidbits to share?
We've realized that we're not gonna. So we went all the way out to Florida to plan the wedding and have a wedding on a beach, and realized we don't want to do that, and it's a terrible idea. So it took going out there to talk to them to realize, like, this is really stupid. We don't want to. This is dumb. Had a terrible experience with the wedding people there. Like, they didn't even call us. We went to meet a woman, and she literally wasn't there. Like, we drove 20 hours from Chicago to meet with this woman, and they were like, oh, actually, she's having her own wedding right now, and she's on her honeymoon. We're like, dude, what the fuck? Like, you didn't email us? Like, it was so bad that we were like, we're not even, like, no. We just were like, we're not doing it. So we're going to do it in Chicago. And to keep with our nautical theme of doing it on a beach, like, this is kind of random, but we're gonna do it on, like, the top of. They have, like, these yachts that you can do where they'll do the wedding on the yacht. So it'll be on the river, and it'll be, semi nice like that. So that's what we're gonna do.
I can't.
At least we think,
bro.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun to have you guys out here. Yeah.
Yes. Good times.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. Well, normally we would jump into feedback from last week's show, but later in the mailbag and voicemails this week, there was so much that I've decided to hold back some, because our comments are always like, I can use them any week. You guys are awesome. You're hot. D-Smooth. I fucking dreamy motherfucker. Whatever people want to say, I can save those for another week, because that doesn't change. Like, look at this face. It's the same gorgeous fucking face every week. So why don't we just jump right over into site-related news? Jay, what do you have in site-related news this week?
I'm like the features master now. So this last week, so we launched the Looking for Group stuff, which we're hoping gets a lot of more use when Destiny Taken King comes out. So consequently, the Looking for Group forum is being shut down in favor of the new Looking for Group thing. However, I now have a mobile app that I've been working on. That's what I did in Florida in my free time. I built a mobile app that will interface directly with LFG. It's actually coming along really well. It's going to be first released on iOS. But the plan with it is it can really be used outside of Tool to Play. It doesn't have to be a Tool to Play thing. You'll just need your Tool to Play login for the app. But you'll be able to pick, what game you're looking for. You have your description, what you're planning to do, your title, the system you're playing it on. And the app will really be an extension of that. So anything that you create within the app will be on the site. Anything you create within the site will show up on the app. But it'll be sort of your mobile connection to Tool to Play. Not just the responsive piece. It works solely for LFG. So you'll be able to message people back and forth. It'll almost have like a chat interface where you can use it sort of like Slack chat does. So you can talk to people one-on-one. It'll have push notifications eventually, but when we first launch, it won't have it. But you'll get notified when your game that you're following, when someone wants to play that game, you'll get a little push notification saying someone in Tool to Play is looking to play the same game as you. Do you want to message them back? So it's going to have a little bit of that, like if you've ever used Meetup or any of those things like that, it's kind of that feeling of like you're looking for a group to do his thing. You get notified when that happens, and you'll be able to share data back and forth. So it's coming along. I already have the mock app up running on my iPhone. And it's, looking pretty cool.
Hot shit. Nice.
Chugging along.
Awesome news.
Good shit.
All right, Jay. Well, I have nothing to add, so why don't we meander on over to what we're playing? Joel Dude I Rock Albert, what have you been playing this week?
Nothing. I was on vacation. So, I haven't been playing any games at all. I actually played last night when I got home. I played a little bit of Taken King. Well, not really Taken King yet, but the updates, right? And tried some of the new maps. I'm pretty interested. I'm already loving what they've done with the changes. There's really nothing for me to be pissy about. It's all good. I logged in and loved that I like all the quests that I was on that I totally didn't complete and was lazy. I got a bunch of free exotics out of them without even having to lift a finger. That was great. So I got my thorn that I never had. I got a bunch of other shit. So it's good. I mean, I think overall it's looking mighty nice. Can't wait.
You finish a bunch of bounties to turn in tomorrow?
Try to turn it. I mean, I was like literally not jet lagged, but car lagged from driving for 15 hours. So I only did like 2 or 3. So I won't be maxed out or anything like that, which is fine. I mean, it's fine. I really don't care. Nice. But yeah, I'm like ready to go. I'm ready to give it a shot. What about you?
That's all I did this week. I played through, did some Destiny, did all 3 of my characters. I've got 16 bounties waiting in the wings to turn in tomorrow for each guy, and see what that does. And who knows, maybe it's just like a small hiccup. Maybe I'm only gonna be like 35 when I'm done those. Like
I'm feeling like that's what it's gonna be. I don't think we don't know what the scale is. Yeah, but I would say just like how MMOs work, it would be really odd if they followed a different paradigm where like you all of a sudden you're 40. I don't think it's gonna happen. I think you're gonna maybe get a level. I actually don't even think you'll get a full level.
Yeah, the higher level, the more XP it should take. That's the
general. Yeah, that's the general right. The way MMOs have worked for years. But yeah, I mean, it's definitely going to give you a boost. You're going to obviously be a little bit. But I mean, it all depends on how much you play the game. So even if like you're the guy that saves up but then doesn't play next week, it's irrelevant to you. If you're going to play all the time, it's going to matter.
Guys like Marcus that are on from 6 a.m. till 11 at night. Those guys are going to be your first 40s.
Yeah, they'll be 40, by the weekend, I would assume. So, And that's the thing is I don't think it's going to follow the same paradigm as MMOs where it takes you a month to be 40. I think that doesn't work in a game like Destiny. So I'm pretty sure you'll see 40s by, Saturday. Or in a lot of cases, I think you'll see 40s the next day. But, I mean, it's good. It's I like that they're increasing the level and you have to work towards it. I like those things about MMOs. Some people hate those things, but that's why I play them. So it's cool.
It was fun for watching the kids because the kids only have a couple guys that were 34 and they had like a third character that was not yet. And after the 2.0 patch launched, you were gaining XP for doing stuff. So they were able to level up without getting new gear, without having to run raids, without waiting for the random drop to level them up, which was the most fucked up system ever. So now they're doing it the old fashioned way. You play, you earn, you level up.
Right. And now, did they I don't know because I didn't check. The piece where you get the free level 25. That didn't come with the update.
No,
right?
that comes later.
Tomorrow. That comes tomorrow?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Because that'll be cool too. I'll finally have a Warlock that I actually want to play. And so that'll be cool.
Nice.
Good stuff.
All right. Well, on that, why don't we ham on over into the new releases? First new release out this week is a multi-platform release, and it's Destiny: The Taken King. And this is out for the Xbox One, the PS4, the 360, and the PS3. This is Destiny's 3rd expansion, and this one is absolutely huge. Several of Destiny 2.0 changes that launched last week, and it also includes a whole bunch of new content. Obviously, the expansion storyline is focused on Oryx, the father of Crota, which we heard before as Crota, son of Oryx, and now we just flip that and now we figure out who he is. It includes a new campaign, new locations, new game modes, new strikes, a new raid, and the new subclasses for each of the character types, which is super fucking exciting, although that part is really annoying to level up a subclass when you jump over to it and you're not going to have a double jump at that point, which will be fucking weird. But the buzz on the internets is that everybody's loving the 2.0 update and everybody is fucking excited about this. There's no one that is like, I'm going to...
Well, if you go to Bungie's site, you'll find plenty of people that are fucking pissy and maybe even Hit's pissy. I don't know. Like, Hit's given the wishy-washy. My thing is this, like, no matter what, right, hate it or love it or whatever, they're making drastic changes. I think that deserves a ton of credit. I feel like game companies are too pussy to do things like this. Yep. That to me, that is the worst. Complacency is the worst thing. If your game is great, try to make it greater, right? Better. If it's shitty, try to make it better, but always be changing. To me, you don't know. No one can sit there and say they know how good this is yet. I feel like that's a little premature, right? Like, maybe you don't like the changes, but it's a little weird for it to be shitty already. I mean, like it hasn't even the actual expansion is not even out yet. Yeah, man, I don't know.
But like you said, you got to give Bungie credit. I know this is the 2.0 update, but really, this is the 4.0 update. No other company I've ever seen has taken their game and completely redone the entire mechanics of the game 4 times in a year like Bungie has. Like with the first expansion, they were like, okay, we fucked all this shit up. Let's change that. Then the second one, they're like, oh, people hated that. Let's fucking change that.
Try again.
This is the third full iteration in the game where they've changed the underlying dynamics of, and this time even more so than before, of everything. So
Yeah.
you got to give them credit for that. It's a dangerous move, but it seems like because the changes they're making are being driven by the community and the players, it's the right changes that they're choosing to make. And I think that as time moves forward, this is only going to get better and better.
Yeah, willingness to change is always, I mean, that's the perspective. And I think they've gotten a lot of that from Blizzard and what they're willing to do. I mean, they literally have killed entire classes. And I think that they have a very spirited relationship in that way. And I think it's good for both of them. I think that's an awesome paradigm to follow. A lot of the times they get it horribly wrong, but they don't care. And I think I know it's like people feel like you fucked it up. How could you not care? But that's kind of the point, right? Like they make a mistake. They see how the reaction of the community is, and then they adjust that bar a little bit. Yep. Like, oh, maybe we went too far this way. Maybe we need to bring it back up. That's good. Like that creates a dialogue with community. It inevitably, I hope, creates a better game. But the willingness to learn and the willingness to change is I think, paramount in video games. It's like you no longer could be the dev that puts their head in the sand and says, we know how you should have fun. Yep. That's the worst step.
Yep.
So, I don't know. It's good stuff.
Exactly. I can't wait till tomorrow. All right. Next new release out this week is also a multi-platform release, and it's NHL 16. And this is out for the Xbox One and the PS4. This is the 25th game. Like, just soak that in for a second. In EA's long-running NHL series. This is like right up there with Madden in the number of years now. As expected, it's received the usual graphic boost. 6 versus 6 online play is back. That was missing from the first next-gen release. As well as couch co-op. So, that's going to be awesome. Get 12 of your friends online. Everybody picks a position. Someone can play the fucking goalie. Skating and puck handling have been a huge focus this time around. The game looks absolutely fucking stunning, and fans of the series should definitely consider picking this up. You have any interest?
I mean, honestly, to be fair, I don't really play any sports games, so I guess it's not really, it's not my purview to say it's a shitty game. I just don't care. But I know that they're doing a lot of cool stuff with it. Like I like the 66 online team play stuff. I think that stuff is really cool. I used to be a hockey player, believe it or not, for a really long time. But
that is hard to believe.
Yeah, I know. I used to wake up at 3 a.m. and lace my skates and
get your free ice time. They're inexpensive ice time.
Inexpensive ice time. Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. I just don't care, right? But it looks good. I'm glad. Every time we get these games, I feel like it's the most repetitive thing with us because we're like, yeah, right. It's another year. Yes. No one is like shocked by this. That's great. All right, moving on.
Yeah, I know what you're saying, but at the same time, it is nice to watch these games get more and more realistic with each passing.
Yeah, and maybe it's weird. Maybe there's this barrier where it's so realistic that I eventually buy a game. I'm wondering if that'll happen where I'm like, oh yeah, now it's worth me paying for, but not right now. Not right now.
All right, fair enough. All right, well, the last new release out this week is out for the Xbox One. It's Forza Motorsport 6. This is the newest hotness in Microsoft's popular Forza Motorsport series. The game launches with over 450 cars, which is twice as many as Forza 5, which everybody was bitching about when that came out, if you remember. They're like, oh my God, so few cars. It's got 26 tracks, and 9 of these are fucking brand new, including Watkins Glen Speedway in upstate New York, a place where I raced my Mercedes in college. So, it's, you can't complain about the 9 brand new fucking tracks in here. The campaign mode, which they call Stories of Motorsport, features over 70 hours of gameplay, which is insane to go through the campaign.
Yeah, that's pretty insane.
Yeah. This time around, Turn 10 has put tremendous effort into wet weather driving. That was each time they have to pick one thing they want to focus on and fix, and that's what they worked on this. So instead of driving, the rain only being like this background visual and being cosmetic, physics have been modeled to affect racing in the rain. And what they also did is they went to all of the tracks that they've modeled in wet weather conditions, and they saw where puddles form, where there's low points in the track, and that is where they modeled the natural formation of puddles in the game. That is like an absolute insane amount of science you're putting into this.
That's
you're
insane.
So realism-wise, they could have put puddles anywhere, but to have them be in the actual spots where they would actually show up on the real courses is absolutely nuts. It's been getting amazing reviews in the high 8s and low 9s. Even some perfect scores for this one. So if you're a Forza fan, I would say this is a must-buy. Everybody knows how I feel about racing games, so not so much for me, but yeah, definitely. Your Forza guys, this is a no-brainer.
People are stoked, man. Like I have not seen, because the Forza group on Tool to Play has always been a particularly strong group, but also in the recent years, it's kind of died down and has not been nearly as popular. And I don't know if that was because of Forza 5 and there were so many disappointments there, but you saw people playing a lot of other, racing games. People are pretty stoked. I feel like I've had, on the new Tool to Play, you can add a game to our database and it's tracked and you can do all these other cool things. But I've had like 6 private messages of like, when are you adding Forza to the database? I want to show that that's what I'm playing. People are like really excited to do this. So, I mean, it looks like obviously they put a ton more work into this. I'm wondering if it's one of those situations where with Forza 5, it was, I'm not saying like a throwaway, but they didn't put as much time into it to sort of ramp up to Forza 6 because they put these games out so not frequently, but it's a lot of work to do this.
It was the Treyarch game of the Forza series.
That's what I was kind of getting at. Like it's the same group, so it's not like the Treyarch scenario, but it's like that where hey, well, let's get 5 out now, and then let's put a lot of real effort into it.
Well, that's what happened with NHL last year. Is that NHL came out on next gen consoles, but they had to drop half the features to get it out on next gen. So. This is really for both of those titles, the first one that's really taking advantage of the full capabilities of these new consoles. So.
Yeah, I mean, it's cool. It's cool stuff. It's good to know that, they're at least going, the extra mile. Because to me, when they do the weather stuff and stuff like that, these games live or die based on that realism. And I know that's kind of what we were saying for NHL, but I think even more so with something that you're physically driving and all the physics that go around with it. The closer they can get to that while trying to maintain that balance of fun, that's a tight rope, right? Like you don't want the sim to be so sim that because you're probably a shitty driver in real life, like you're probably not going to be able to handle a car going, 170 around a turn. Making that balance of realism, but with the feeling of actually doing really well in a game, that's a tough thing to do. And I think they do a really good job of that, right? So it's more props to them. It's cool shit,
Agreed. And on that, Jay, why don't we hop on over into gaming news? First story.
State court orders kickstarted game creator to pay $54,000 for failing to deliver. And this comes from Gamasutra. More than a year after the Washington State Office of the Attorney General filed a consumer protection lawsuit against a Kickstarter game creator who failed to deliver, a state court ruled against the defendant and ordered that $54,851 be paid in civil fines, fees, and restitution to backers of the bungled crowdfunding campaign. The whole thing started when Asylum Playing Cards Kickstarter ended in October of 2012 at $25,146 in pledges, beating its original $15,000 goal. In 2014, Washington State's Attorney General's office alleged that the campaign creator Edward Polchalopek III, a.k.a. Ed Nash, much nicer name, and his company, Altius Management, had collected the money and neglected to deliver either the cards or the various backer rewards. Since some of the campaign backers live in Washington, the state's legal team was able to get involved. Washington State will not tolerate crowdfunding theft, stated Ferguson in a press release announcing the ruling back in July. Quote, "If you accept money from consumers and don't follow through on your obligations, my office will hold you accountable," end quote. The release then goes on to encourage people in similar situations to file complaints with their state's attorney general. Nash and Altius Management have been ordered to pay their 31 backers in Washington a total of $668 in restitution, as well as $23,183 in legal fees and $31,000, a grand per backer burned, in civil penalties for violating the State Consumer Protection Act, but it's yet unclear whether they've actually done so. So what do you guys think of this? Is this setting a new precedent? Have you guys been burned by any Kickstarters?
Well, I know Derek has. Because of Ouya.
I actually got
so automatically,
and I was burned by getting
you were right. You were burned by the fact that it was created. There should have been restitution for the fact that the product was as shitty as it was. There wasn't, but in this case, I'm glad. So I think this is a good thing. This is a precedent that really should happen. The weird thing about Kickstarter in general is that it's like you're investing in a product. It's to this day is the dumbest idea ever. You invest in a product of which you get no returns. And the chance of it failing is high anyway, even if it gets backed. and there's really no recourse that you can take whatsoever. It's the fact that people do it it's a pre-order. It should never be backers because you're not backing anything. You're not like an investor that gets like your dividends paid every year or whatever. You don't get that. So this is good. There needs to be something in place that forces the person that's going to take on these projects and make all these fucking promises to adhere to those promises. I think I don't see anything wrong with this at all.
Yeah, there's two fucked up things there. First off, Altius. Like
I know, right?
I know. What are the odds? It's spelled wrong, but still it's Altius, which is Altius Management. That's pretty funny. But the funny thing is these guys wanted $15,000. They got in $25,000.
Right.
But because of the way this settlement worked, so they've only taken in $25,000, but they owed, forget the $668 of the stuff that they fucked people on. They owed $23,000 in legal fees. So that's almost all the money they took in on Kickstarter,
right,
just in the legal fees. Then they hammered them with a penalty of $1,000 per backer burn. And these are only the backers out in Washington State. So that's only 31 backers. So they're already in for more than double the money they took in. Now, imagine if other states start picking this up and start doing the same sort of legal proceedings to push this through. These guys, there's no way they can pay this money. Even if they can pay the money they owe now, they're fucked either way. So Altius Management and Ed Nash or Edward J. Popchek III, like these guys, they're never going to do anything again. So
yeah, it's kind of, you wonder like if they had an LLC or something to protect them. If they didn't have any limited liability or anything like that, and it's going against them as a person, if that's what it is, they are truly fucked. I mean, they are, you'll have to file bankruptcy and you will literally have the worst credit for a very, very long time. You won't be able to ever do anything. I hope for their sake that they did have a limited liability. They can claim it as a loss and the company just goes under. I have a feeling that's probably not the case in a lot of these situations, that people don't know what they're doing. They have no business setting up a company in the first place. They don't plan. They have no lawyer. And when things like this happen, it's like your life is completely ruined. I'm not glad that that's happening to them. I don't think that's necessarily fair. But at the same time, you fuck people over. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, like, it's as fair as it gets, right? Like
it wasn't like they delivered some rewards. They delivered nothing right to anybody. Not the product, and not like the little, you got your T-shirt, you got this, you got that. Fuck these guys.
Yeah,
fuck them up their asses.
Yeah, you take the money and run, you get what you deserve, and that's where I think like there needs to be these things in place. These things need to happen, and I'm glad they do, because then it makes people think twice when they start their Kickstarter. Right? Like we were nervous when I started my Kickstarter just for the LAN party that was inevitably successful, just because you're making promises, right? Like that idea to me is it's a big deal, right? Like I don't want to fail you on something if I make a promise. I want to make good on it. But a lot of these guys don't give a shit. They don't know you from Adam. They don't care. And so we need these things to make people think twice when they start a Kickstarter. Are you prepared to go through with the thing that you're saying that you want to do?
If you're gonna put it up on Kickstarter, you better deliver. Or if you don't fund, then you're free. But if you fund, you better deliver. And especially if you fund at 1.5 times what you put in for,
right?
Sure as fuck better deliver what you thought you could do for less money.
That's what's right. That's what's even the worst part. You get double what you were gonna get, and you can't even come through on a T-shirt or whatever the fuck you promised. That's a serious. I mean, that's lying, right? That's saying you're going to do thing and do another. That's the worst thing you could possibly do to consumers. So in this case, good, and I hope it does set a precedent, and I hope more people have their backings, at least like are more aware of what's happening legally, and that'll make them think twice when they put these Kickstarters up. So nothing but good things here. I know it's sad for them, but it's a good thing ultimately.
It's a fuck you sad.
But can I just say this? I blame consumers as well. I'll just leave it at that, because if you're dumb enough to think that some schmo somewhere and you're gonna back this guy, you have to know, at least I hope, that your chances of getting whatever it was is low. These aren't like, there's no insurance here. There's nothing to guarantee you anything. So have some fucking perspective when you do these things. All right, that's just a word to the wise. Have some perspective. All right.
There's your take home right there.
There's your take home. Yeah.
All right, next story.
Nintendo appoints Pokemon USA head as company president, and this comes from Joystick X Engadget. After Satoru Iwata's passing, Nintendo has announced its new company president today, and no, it's not the legendary game designer Shigeru Miyamoto. Instead, the console maker has promoted Tatsumi Kimishima, a name that's probably unfamiliar to most of the gaming populace. Until now, he's been a managing director at Nintendo, overseeing the human resources division. Not the most exciting role, but since he joined the company in 2000, Kimishima has also been chief financial officer for the Pokemon Company, president of Pokemon USA, and president of Nintendo of America. Kimishima takes the reins in a difficult period. The Wii U is struggling, the 3DS is nearing the end of its life cycle, and Nintendo is about to dive into mobile gaming for the first time. In addition, the company is working on its new NX console and a mysterious quality of life initiative. Sure, the latter two projects were born under Iwata's watch, but it's Kimishima that will be taking responsibility for their success or lack thereof. Meanwhile, Miyamoto and Genyo Takeda, one of the lead visionaries for the Wii, have been giving new roles as Creative Fellow and Technology Fellow, respectively. I want these titles. Those are awesome. Both will help Kimishima during the transition, but even with their assistance, he has unquestionably huge shoes to fill. So what do you guys think of this? Like, first of all, like, how about those roles?
Those are awesome roles. I do want that title as well. Or like folks. I want to be like, I'm a creative folk.
I like the titles. Actually, I at several companies I've worked for, I've known people that have a something fellow title.
Yeah.
And back when I was working for Cisco Systems, I had a title that was Think Tank. Was my
I remember that when you had that title. Yeah, that's a great title too. Like, what do you do? I think.
That was my
That's what I did,
the easiest job I ever had. There,
Totally.
I had to come up with two unique ideas a week,
Great.
and I could do whatever I wanted as long as at the end of the week I had two unique ideas. It's all that mattered. So I surfed a lot of internet during that time. The whole internet, really.
It's research. You're
Yes.
doing research. Yeah,
Yes.
you're paid to do research. I mean, for him, I have to say I wouldn't want to be in his shoes right now because I do think it's, whenever you're coming off a roster like that, right, a legacy of that size,
Yep.
and this is even the worst part, is at the position that Nintendo is currently in. I mean, maybe if it was the first piece of the Wii when they were just killing it, it might be a better time to come in on this, but they're kind of at a downward, I don't want to say spiral because they're doing better than they did even last year. But it's rough. That's a rough position.
It's
to be in.
definitely downward. Yes.
Yeah, it's downward. Yeah, it's definitely downward. So yeah, I mean, I do not envy those the shoes to fill. I mean, I think that's a rough thing. But who knows? I mean, maybe that's why they pick someone a little bit more obscure within the company to not paint a giant target on someone's back. That's probably a decent thing to do. But whatever plans that were in position before all this happened are probably 3-10 years out. So he's really probably going to just follow those the guidelines that were set before. Yeah. So I mean, it might be okay.
If NX is successful, then
he becomes the winner.
Reach the benefits of that.
Right.
But if it's not, then he's the fall guy, and then we pick a new guy.
Right. That's the bad position to be in. But yeah,
I hope Nintendo does something right with NX because that's their dual console.
Right.
We have the portable, we have the console. They're coming at the same time. They're going to work together. It's going to be like a VMU fucking busted out. And you can only hope that this works out well for them. But otherwise, we're going to be in a two console system, and we see how the 2-party system works. So
yeah, right. Works really well.
Yeah.
Looks amazing.
But yeah, all the best to him. I had never heard of him either until this happened, and I knew it wasn't going to be Miyamoto.
There was no way.
That's not his.
That's
his
not. He doesn't want to be in that. That's
he's not a business guy. He's a creative guy.
He's a creative guy. Yeah.
But pick someone that you trust, and obviously with the amount of time it's taken now since Iwata died, for them to come up with the successor, they obviously went through some sort of multiple levels of iteration and vetting people out, and you can only hope they made the best decision here because, especially being on the slide they've been on, you can only try to do the very best, put your best foot forward, and move up from here. So, we'll see what happens. All right, next story.
So it's kind of a slow news week, guys. We are heading right into this week's What the Fuck story. PlayStation is the most popular console for surfing adult content, and this comes from Game Politics. Popular adult site YouPorn has released a number of stats that relate to its visitors who use console devices to consume adult media. According to data collected by the site in the new blog post, gamers, broadly defined as people who use console systems to peruse the site, represent around 200,000, of the 20 million people who visit YouPorn daily. YouPorn says that the most popular game system to use while watching content on its site is the PlayStation family of systems. In fact, Sony systems are used more than Xbox and Wii systems combined. Around 51% of the total console traffic comes from PlayStation consoles. Around 39% use an Xbox system, while 10% use a Wii system. Drilling down into the data even more, YouPorn finds that Xbox users prefer lesbian porn, Sony console users prefer MILF movies, and Nintendo fans like adult Japanese-themed cartoons. I can't believe you guys are making me read this.
Awesome.
I hate you so much right now. Women make up 8.5% of visitors, with the remainder made up of males. Women also make up 11% of traffic originating from the Wii console family, according to the site. So where is the traffic coming from? Well, according to the site, Xbox console users mostly come from the United States and Mexico, while Wii and Wii U are the top consoles being used in many Southeast Asian countries, and PlayStation consoles are the top just about everywhere else in the world. So what do you guys think of this?
I don't know that I'm surprised because, I mean, I don't think a lot of people surf or use their Xbox specifically to even do those things. And obviously the Wii,
200,000 people do.
Yeah, right. But it's mostly, I mean, I guess I don't know why. I feel like I understand more why it's happening on PS4. Also, anyone that has a PS4 is totally a degenerate anyway, so it doesn't make any, make sense why that's happening. Oh, sorry. No, I mean, but it is a weird thing. Like, I don't know why you would ever do that on your system. I have like this weird like idea that everyone's just on their couches in their living room watching porn, which to me is the weirdest thing ever.
Yeah, it's meant for your laptop or your phone. Come on.
That's a hidden
incognito window.
Right. Yeah. Yes. You're not like, you're not like playing a game of, I guess Halo wouldn't matter because it's not PS4, but it's not like you're playing a game of Destiny and then you're like, you know what? I'm going to close this out, rub one out, and go back into the Crucible.
Xbox,
I feel like that's
porn.
Right. Like that's a little weird to me. Like you're rubbing one out pre-match or something. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. It's bizarre. It's bizarre that this is even a figure.
PlayStation has more is not the weird thing. It's more of what people are into. Xbox guys, lesbian porn. You can't complain about that, right? That is, no one doesn't like that. But the PlayStation guys looking for MILF porn, I mean, they might as well be looking for grandma porn at this point. Come on.
Yeah, that's a little fucking weird. That is a little weird. I love these statistics though. I wish I hope they keep on these for a while. I want to know how it changes as we go through this system's life cycle. I would love to see how things, or I wonder if new releases affect the porn that you're watching, or the ratio of porn you watch during this
lull of new releases.
Right, porn goes up.
Viewership goes up.
Yeah, I think those stats would be really interesting. Or for whatever reason you're into helmet porn when Halo 5 comes out or something. I don't know. I want to see. Yeah,
what the fuck is helmet porn?
I don't know. It's a thing specifically for Halo, right? You're really into HUD based porn, right? You get super into HUD based porn for the few weeks after launch. That's what I want. Those statistics. That's what I want.
Nice.
Eric, what do you think about the story?
Jay, the story has me saying, what the fuck? And on that, we'll hop on over to mailbag and voicemails. And this week, the mailbag is fucking overflowing. I can barely hold it in my hands. So Blue Steel asks, with the release of The Taken King tomorrow, what are you three, Hitman also, well, if we're going to include Hitman, we might as well include Tiff, most looking forward to? What are you going to play first? Crucible, patrols, quests, PoE, strikes, etc. Which character are you going to level first? I plan on unlocking the hammer for my Titan. Well, I'm going to jump in first, Jay. I'm going to pick one of my many warlocks and probably use him first. And I'm probably going to do some of the quest line because gotta get that out of the way.
Yeah, I was thinking that as well. I mean, for me, I hate questing the most. So oddly enough, that'll be what I do first because I hate that shit. I think it's terrible. So I'll probably get as much of the quest stuff done, but I will live in Crucible. I PvP, that's what I do. And then be ready to raid. I also raid, but I don't do strikes or any of those other things. So I may be more apt to do them because they look better than they ever have. So that may happen. But yeah, definitely start with the quests, move on. Hit, go.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm really looking forward to the raid, but
Right.
we're nowhere near playing the raid.
No, not until Friday.
I'll probably just do. Yeah, I'll probably just. Even then, like, are we even going to be level enough to get in there?
That's
Like,
I don't think you will. I mean, I
like,
think some
yeah.
people will for sure. Like I said, I think some people will be 40 tomorrow. But yeah, I'm wondering like how that's going to work out for teams and stuff. Like friends are going to leave other friends behind because that's what happens in MMOs when someone's ready and the other guy isn't. It's like, oh, see you later. If I can do this raid.
Friends are second.
I feel like tomorrow and the day after are going to be like content management days, like getting ready for all the new guns and stuff, and reorganizing. And I'll probably just do the story missions. That's pretty much all. Yeah, that's my plan. You, Tiff?
Yeah, definitely. Probably just starting out with the story missions, level that up. I'm probably going to do my Titan first, mostly because of the hammer, because that just looks super badass. And plus, playing with Derek and Mr. GBMS, we have a warlock and a hunter, so it'd be kind of cool to see, the new Titan stuff. And it's cool because I got all three anyway.
All right.
Shit, man. Good shit.
All right. Well, next we have a call this week from Selden 007. Hit, you want to roll that call for us?
Hey, Selden 007 here. Responding to you calling me out. Bastards. Hey, just a real quick question. Should I feel sorry for one hit wonder Marcus Notch person or whatever the hell his last name is? Or is he just being a douchebag guy that made billions of dollars and now he's feeling all lonely? Wah, let's call a little ambulance on him. Anyways, douchebag move by him, I think. What do you guys think?
All right. Yeah. Notch is a pussy. That's what it boils down to. If I had billions of dollars, I'd fucking be all over the place. I'd be like, everybody come over to my house. Let's party. That's what I do even when I don't have $2 billion. So
Right, yeah. Do it anyway.
yeah, you can't win about, it's hard to make friends because you have billions of dollars. Fuck that. That's the easiest way to make friends.
Yeah, real friends, right? Yeah, right.
Yeah, at that point, it doesn't matter.
I'm
right?
a lot more. I mean, I'm kind of on Notch's side here. I think, again, it's hard to feel sorry for anyone that has billions of dollars. But like you see, like have you seen the pictures of like his house and stuff like that?
Oh,
Every
with his
time he
camp
shows
rings
those
and-
photos, what I find so depressing is it's like him on the couch taking there's no one else in the house, right? It's really sad. Like it's like, hey, here's my like gumball machine of thousands of candies, and I'm really lonely. It's like the saddest fucking shit.
Like he should be
every photo.
half. There should just be a bunch of like
Right, like
playmates
there's
running
no
around.
one in the
Yes, yeah.
fucking room, dude. It's like 9,000 square feet of sadness is what it is. So from that perspective, it's one of those things where money doesn't make your personality change. If you were a nerd and a loner and an isolated guy when you made the game, $9 billion, whatever billion dollars is not going to make you all of a sudden the life of the party. And I think that's probably it. Actually, in those cases, does make it harder because now you literally have this barrier called money that really cuts you off from like having any real conversations with anyone. And you can tell he's already a type of guy that probably didn't have many of those conversations to begin with. So I do feel bad in that sense, right? But then at the end of the day, dude, you have a shit ton of money. I can't like actually feel sorry for you unless you want to give me some of that money. Then maybe I will. But yeah, so I do like it's weird. I feel for him. I think for sure, anyone that strikes up a conversation with him or anything has that context of like this dude has a shit ton of money. I should be friends with him, and then he'll give me a bunch of his money. I don't know. So I feel for him. I do. I think it's a shitty thing. I don't know.
I guess it boils down to he was a nerd before and he has no skills, and so he's a nerd after.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sad to say, but it's true.
True.
All right. Well, we have another call from Selden Devil. Yeah, from Selden 007. You want to roll that hit?
Hey, this is Sheldon 007 giving you a call. Hey, if you want to get your Star Wars fix now and not have to wait around for Battlestar Galactica skinned hardline war thing, you should pick up Disney Infinity 3.0. They did a good job of integrating Star Wars into it. Now the addiction starts with all the figurines again. All right. See ya.
All right. That's what I've heard too. Fucking Disney Infinity 3.0 is supposed to be the tits. It's the best Star Wars game you've never played. And if I didn't want to go through that slippery slope of buying another million toys, we would totally be all over this. And the fact that we have Destiny Taken King coming out, and then a month later we have Halo 5, that's protecting us from this purchase.
And of course, I have no children. There's no chance for me ever to play it. So I'm good. I'm good to go for not playing it. I'm ready to not play it again.
But did you ever think that Amanda, this might be her gateway drug?
No, she plays the Wii. Like, so her,
Oh, okay.
yeah, so
Nice.
she plays Mario Kart. That's like her thing. So if we ever like she's always like, "Hey, I want to play games with you." And I'm like, "No, but I will play."
That's such a sweetie. This is why
Yeah.
you're getting married. Yes.
Right. She's like, can we play games? Like, do you want to? And I'm like, nah, we're not going to do that together. But I'll play some Wii with you. And so we'll do, a little bit of Mario Kart, or she'll do like Super Smash Brothers, stuff like that. So that's more of her deal. And I don't think that she would even like this either. Like, I don't think it fits her thing. So no chance of this happening. But it is cool. Obviously, Disney has Star Wars now. So you're going to see a shit ton of Star Wars, whether you like it or not. So, yeah.
All right. All right. Well, next up, we have another call that everybody loved to call this week, and nobody cared about the minute limit because they all fell in under it. So we have another call this week from Shadow. You want to roll that call hit?
Hi guys, it's Shadow. I'm just calling to see what you thought about our digital future with regard to holiday purchases and releases. In the future, if there are no physical games for people to wrap and put under the tree, is it going to matter as much when people buy games because you're just going to go to your system and purchase it? No one can do that for you. I guess there are codes, if they'll still sell codes on cards maybe within stores to be able to wrap and put under the tree, but otherwise, is it maybe going to change how companies do their release schedule? Because it's really not going to make a difference what time of year things are released. People aren't going to be able to pre-purchase digital stuff to give to people. So anyway, I just want to see what your thoughts on that were. See you later.
All right. Well, it's a good question, but obviously we've already seen that Amazon now has the digital gift cards for Xbox One games. That's a way around this. It's obviously not as big a box, not as fancy a box, but you could give them that way. I think that digital is definitely starting to push on the big box stores, and I don't think that's a question at all here. I don't know. There's ways around being able to give a digital gift. It's not like you have to log on to your Xbox or just give them Xbox points. You can, designate your gift to be a certain game for the most part.
Yeah. I mean, I love the way that, Steam gifting is always, again, Steam is the best way if you want to see where the industry is going in those senses. I always say use Steam as your barometer because they do it. They've been doing it for years. And the gifting that they do there is great, right? And you can trade and do things like that. So for me, it's the way to go. And there's tons of ways around it. So like as an industry, I don't consider it a block, right? I think there's tons of ways to handle it where I think it's fair and it works. But in terms of like release, like how they release and how that'll change, I don't know that that's really affected by digital. I don't know if that really matters. And maybe you have thoughts on that, but to me, it should be the same. Everything should really be the same when it comes to digital. I don't see any difference. I don't know what I don't know what the context would be where it would affect the release schedule. Just because they don't have to do big boxes, they'll use all the time that they could possibly get before they release the game, right? To me, that's
the release schedule is independent of how it's released because there's still an importance of getting games out at Christmas time. If there's a way to get people, even if they didn't have the prepaid codes, you would still, if someone's like, I want this game and it comes out on December 20th and you're like, well, I can't get you that game, so I'll get you a Xbox Live gift card that you can get that game with. So there's still a way to do that, and it's still a way to drive holiday sales. So I don't think that part's ever going away. And a year ago, when you could not buy prepaid code, you can get them for PlayStation, but not for Xbox Live, prepaid game codes. It was a little bit different, but now really go on Amazon, search up any of the games that are coming out now, and there's a way to buy a prepaid code for any of them. So you can differentiate the gift that you want to give someone and make sure that they're getting that game. And I don't think the impact is as huge as it had the potential to be a year ago. And I think moving forward, we're going to see more and more of this. Yeah,
I agree. I mean, that's the thing. Again, go to Steam. We want to see how it's probably going to go because I do think that's the watermark there. But it's never been a problem there. And I think that's the point. Like, there's ways around it. So it's not like there's anything scary coming down the pipeline of how gifting is going to work and how all these things are going to play out. It's already played out. It's just not on Xbox yet. But I think you'll see those things in the future, and you'll realize. I think people more and more will realize digital's the way. I know people complain and they say, I want to be able to sell my thing back and all that stuff, but you don't get shit for the game. It doesn't matter. I mean, to me, that's not good enough, right? So
Yeah, we talked about this last episode.
Yeah,
Fuck that.
fuck that.
Keep it.
Just-
Keep it. Fuck them.
keep it, fuck them. Totally agree. Yeah.
All right. Well, next up in this giant fucking mailbag, we have yet another call from Selden 007. You want to roll that call? Hit.
Hey, it's Selden 007 here giving you a call. Hey, just a couple of thoughts I had. I was looking at Kmart today. I was going over there for picking up a gift for one of my son's friends, and I walked through the video game area, and it's no longer there. And just imagine, just a few years ago, they had an actual Facebook page for Kmart Gamer. He actually signed off officially March 14th, 2012, saying that he's moving on. Now, they don't even have a video game section there. What do you guys think? Do you think this is the prelude to the demise of the box store video game purchases with online going so fluidly now? Talk to you later. Bye!
I thought this was weird. I already thought Kmart was dead when Kmart Gamer was the thing.
Right. You're like, wait, what?
Wait, Kmart has like a separate guy that they've named Kmart Gamer, and he's their face of gaming. I don't know. It is weird that Kmart Gamer went away and that Kmart is now completely out of the video game business. But I put them more akin to like a dollar store or a Five Below or one of those kind of stores. Not really like the store you go to buy something. Like I can't remember the last time I was actually in a Kmart. Can you?
They just shut one down like in Chicago, one of the few remaining ones. Like this was like maybe even a month or two ago. But it doesn't surprise me, and it's kind of funny because it comes right after Shadow's comment about digital. I think that does play a huge role. I don't think they can compete with a lot of the big box stores anyway. The ones that are left that are selling games, like you said, you don't go. At least maybe some people do, right? Some people go there to buy their games. But I don't know if you know this too, but it's like Sears stopped as well. So like Sears no longer does it either. And I think you're going to see more and more of this where, and it's weird because I don't think gaming is a niche. It's less of a niche than it's ever been. But in that context, I do think people get their games from specific places nowadays. And Kmart and Sears and things like that don't really come to mind. Like if you're going to go to big box to buy a game, you'll probably go to Best Buy, right? Like you'll probably go to Circuit City if there are even any around of those anymore.
Yeah, you're going to GameStop to use your credit from selling in games,
right?
Or you're going to Best Buy because you joined their Gamer Club Unlocked thing and you paid your $10 or $15 and you're getting 20% off a game. So that's their way to make them still pertinent to you in this world. Is like, hey, you know what? I paid this money and I get 20% off for a game, so I'm going to just keep going to them to buy my games. But yeah, a store like Kmart, there's what's drawing you there at this point.
Yeah, I mean, it would have to be the games themselves, and like I said, there would really be no reason. I do think you'll see this more and more. I don't think this is it's going to stop with these two. Best Buy will be around for a while because they have so many additive things that you're going to go there for. Like kind of Derek was saying, you go to Best Buy, maybe you're in the stereo aisle and you want some electronics, but you also play games, and it's right there. So there's a natural sort of seamless thing there. You buy a headset, maybe you're walking through the aisle, you see a game you love, you buy it, right? But you're in the toy store, you're in Kmart, you're buying, I don't know, a fucking pan for the kitchen. You're not thinking like, oh, I also need to get Forza 5, right? Or Forza 6. I don't think that's a natural progression. And same with Sears. Like, I need a washing machine and I need an Xbox One.
Yeah, doesn't happen.
Doesn't really happen as much. So I think for those larger big box stores that are more universal, you'll see less of this. So to me, it's not it's a sign of the times because I think, again, digital is going to be the way you eventually get everything. But it also makes sense for them from a business perspective. I don't think you're seeing a lot of crossover there. So, yeah, it's a good question, though.
No, the big box stores will still be around for a little while.
Yeah, definitely.
All right. Well, next up, we have one more voicemail, and this one is also from Selden 007. So you want to roll this fourth and final Selden call.
Hey, it's Selden 007 giving you a call. Hey, I was noticing last night, September 7th game between Ohio State and Virginia Tech, that one of the players caught the ball, was running down the field, did an amazing spin move, and they instantly jumped to some kind of video game reference. And in the live broadcast, the announcer goes, "Oh, he must have hit the B button on that," or something along that lines. Shortly thereafter, he started trying to cover up, like you said. He started saying, "That was a square button or a triangle button," almost like the ESPN headquarters came in and said, "Hey, man, we got a sponsorship with Sony. You guys can't be saying B button. You got to say the PlayStation controller." When is PlayStation going to give up on the X button and the square button and go with everybody else's format of X, Y? What do you think?
All right, Selden, we saved your worst for last. Your other questions were decent, or at least remotely decent, but this one, it's borderline idiotic. No offense, brother. But yeah, there's no way that Sony will ever abandon their stupid square, triangles, bullshit circle. It's
even a part of their branding, right?
Yes.
Like it's a brand thing of theirs now, so it would be a huge fucking leap. That's like saying we're not gonna use a logo anymore. We're just changing the whole fucking branding. It's now called a lame station, and that's our new branding. So yeah, never.
Yeah, it's part of their logo. It's part of all of their branding, and technically they were first. They did this stupid thing long before Xbox did ABXY. So. Right. You can, and you go to Nintendo and they had the fucking Z and everything else. Like nobody was the same, but I think where you're kind of jumping on this is that PC controllers jumped on any gamepads for the PC, third-party gamepads jumped on the ABXY, and maybe that's because it was a Microsoft thing and they said, hey, we'll jump on that too. But it's not a standard. I hate looking at the buttons on the PlayStation also being primarily the Xbox person, but when I hop on the PlayStation, I see something that says press X, and all of a sudden I'm pressing the wrong button because it's not the same X. That fucks me up. Don't get me wrong, it's fucked up, but they can never, ever, ever change this. That's in their lifeblood.
And if you're a PlayStation person, to change it would be literally to fuck over the people that have been doing this for. If you're a lifelong dude that's been playing PlayStation your entire life, that would totally fuck you over. There'd be no reason. There's no incentive to do it, right? There's literally zero, like, oh, we just want to fuck people over today and totally change our branding because we're idiots and that's what we're gonna do. Not gonna happen, right? So yeah, terrible question, terrible, horrible question.
Nice suggestion, though.
Great. I mean, the worst question asked. I guess that's good, right? So you're winning on those.
Yep. You covered the best and the worst, maybe. Well, maybe the best. One of the best.
Yeah.
One of the
best.
5 best. Yeah. And definitely the worst.
Definitely the worst.
But that's a good stepped up.
Right, you ran the gamut. You gotta. I would have, ending on a good note might have been better, but people remember you for the last thing you did, so no worries there.
No sweat. But we did call you out last week, and you stepped up strong.
Did step up.
You didn't just come in with 1 call; you came in with fucking 4. So
some would say too many, but that's, I guess, the point. So good job.
It all depends on the length of the show. So
4 hours.
Yes, good job, Selden. But thank you for jumping in, and most definitely your feedback was well appreciated. All right, next up, Blue Steel asks, what are your thoughts on the Xbox One November dashboard update?
This is a great question. And the reason is because the only thing I care about is the speed.
Speed.
That's it.
50% faster, at 50% least.
And if it's, first of all, can I say 50% is really still not enough? I was hoping for like 300%. But no, I mean, to me, that's the biggest feature, right? The menu, I don't know what it is about Xbox products all the way going back from 360 or even the original Xbox One, which actually was recently decently fast. They are always fucking slow. Their menu systems are fucking hogs for memory. Their optimization is terrible. So that's the only thing that I truly do not like about my Xbox One is that the menu system is fucking horrible. Yep. So that's what I want. I want optimization. If they did optimization and only optimization, I'd be like, that's totally worth it.
Yeah. Even changing the layout and the way you get to certain things, and the people that have the new controller to get to the volume controls when you don't have the puck, these things are important, and they've dealt with all these things. So I am pumped for it. I'm pumped for a different change. Tiles I was done with. I was done with before Windows 8 came out.
Right. Tiles have been bad for a while now.
I didn't need tiles on my Xbox One, and now that they're going away, I'm pretty fucking excited.
I agree. I mean, like, a lot of people felt that the Xbox One was very bland because it was I mean, there's nothing really like sexy about tiles, right? Like, it's not a cool menu system. It's just like, here's a bunch of squares with there's stuff inside the squares. You're like, oh, okay. I don't know if you want to be known as the company that's square, right? But they kind of were. So yeah, to me, those pieces, backwards compatibility, don't give a shit about. It means nothing to me. I know some people are stoked.
I know some people are bending over backwards on this. They think it's the greatest thing ever.
It's like, so fucking weird.
I don't like to go back. I don't like to.
Why are you going back? Oh, I can't wait to spend $500 on this new system and then play this old ass game that I don't give a shit about. It's weird to me. That part's weird to me.
Yeah. Why would you go back and bang your ex-girlfriend? Right?
I heard she's looking a lot better these years. Great question. Good shit. Good shit.
All right. And finishing up the mailbag, last but not least, Altius asks, with all the hype surrounding the Taken King, do you think its almost month-long head start over Halo 5 will impact sales for Microsoft?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
It's very positive.
I do.
This goes to the girlfriend thing. If you're happy with your girlfriend,
why leave?
Why go to get a new one?
Yeah. I mean, the only thing I could say to that is, and this is all brand loyalty, right? Like, if you were going to buy Halo 5 anyway, it doesn't matter, right? Like, you're
like us.
It doesn't matter. I won't, I've said this a million times. I'm not even going to play the game, right? I'm going to buy it and be like, stupid. Why did I do this again? I'm an idiot. I'm going to never play it. Those people are already going to buy it. Now, the ones that are on the fence between maybe they were getting sick of Destiny and they were like, oh, I really want to play Halo 5. If Taken King does well and they have a budget that they're on, then yes, it is. I think it will absolutely affect their decision to. People always think they can play 6 games. Turns out you can only play 1, maybe 2. That's the reality.
One is more like it. Yeah.
One is more like it. Yeah. Right. I play 2 and I barely even cover the spectrum. So yeah, I mean, like, I feel like if that's the case and everyone likes Taken King and people start and your friends are there, it's always a big limiting factor. I'm not going to go play Halo 5 by myself. It's not going to happen.
No, exactly.
So yeah, if your friends aren't there, then what's the incentive to play the game? It's a multiplayer game, right? So yeah, absolutely gonna fuck shit up for sure.
I absolutely agree.
Yep.
All right. Well, now that we can close the mailbag, if any of you have fantastic comments and suggestions like that, give us a call, 773-527-2961. Email us at podcast@tooltoplay.com. You can also comment on this episode's thread in the Tool to Play homepage. And sponsors! Remember, by supporting our sponsors, you help support Still Got Game. Now, podcast listeners are getting the full 6-minute commercial here, but we're just going to cut to the chase here for YouTube and Twitch viewers. The only thing we're going to say, if you're going to shop at ThinkGeek, go to tooltoplay.com/geek. Do all your shopping through that link. That's how you help support us here at Tool to Play. tooltoplay.com/geek. Go there. Whatever you're going to buy at ThinkGeek, that helps us out. Also, if you're going to buy beer or give someone a craft beer subscription, you want to do a beer of the month club, but with craft beers, that's the craft beer club. We don't need to spell this out to you. You can buy it for yourself, buy it for a gift, but go to toolplay.com/beer and go buy your subscriptions there. And that helps the show. Each and every subscription helps the show. So once again, toolplay.com/geek for all your ThinkGeek purchases, toolplay.com/beer for buying yourself or someone else a beer of the month club thing. And if you'd like to sponsor us, give us a call, 773-527-2961. Email us at podcast@toolplay.com. Tell us what you're selling. We'll tell you what you're going to pay us. We'll sell it. You pay us. Boom. Done. Twitter us up. You can find everything Tool to Play related at twitter.com/Tool to Play. Everything podcast related at twitter.com/still_got_game. King of the fucking internet at twitter.com/Derek Nolan.
And you can find me over at twitter.com/DudeIRock.
Also, Tiff is at twitter.com/electrify. Facebook the fuck out of us. Facebook.com/Tool to Play. Facebook.com/Derek Nolan.
Facebook.com/DudeIRock.
Facebook.com/Tiff A. Nolan. I gave her a chance the second night. I didn't think she was ready the first time, but the second night I figured she had to be ready.
No.
She's shaking her head. She's not ready.
Yeah, she's not ready. No.
Still not ready?
Still not ready, no.
I can cut you in.
She'll be ready. She'll be ready when the show is over. Then she'll pipe in.
All right. We have a YouTube channel, youtube.com/Tool to Play. That is the place to find all of Tool to Play's archive video content, whether it's shows like Still Got Game, Thick and Thin with LB Dooney and Hit, whether it's indecent interviews or whatever Tiff's show was called back in the day, or any of our other archive video content. That all shows up on our YouTube channel. So go there and subscribe, and you will be notified of all of our video content. Please rate and review this podcast on iTunes. We need some 5-star reviews. If you want to give us a comment or whatever, give us a comment, and we will do that up, and we'll bring it on the show. I know we said we're going to do it this week, but this week was crazy chaos. everything went wrong with the show before it started and in the middle of the show. So starting next episode, we will start to put up some of our best podcast comments, and we'll bring them up in the show, and we'll give away some prizes. We also have a Twitch channel, twitch.tv/tool to play. That is where we do all of our live broadcasting, whether it's this show, whether it's Thick and Thin, whether it's Hit Broadcasting, whatever, whether it's any of our other broadcasters, me, Tiff, LB, you name it, we are all broadcasting there. Jay, sometimes you even broadcast there.
Rarely, yeah.
I know, I was throwing you a bone, making you feel like you're part of the club.
You don't have to. Trust me, it's fine.
But that is where all of our live content happens. So go to twitch.tv/tool to play. Definitely follow us. If you can, subscribe, because that's how you put money directly in our pockets. So if you like this show, we're not asking you to, do a random donation. We're not going to hold up a heart that says we love fucking Jocks Dick 27 or whoever. Just that's the way to do it. It's only $4.99. Subscribe and kick something back to us. Last but not least, I want to remind each and every one of you can join us each and every Monday night, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific, twitch.tv/tool to play. And on that, Jay, why don't we wrap this episode up? I am Derek D. Smooth Nolan.
And I am Joel Dude I Rock Albert.
Technical difficulties.
We got him.